Hello, I'm Harold Batiste. I'm a custom clothier here in Lafayette. I provide custom suits for men and women and some other facets of fashion. Just sat down with Mr. Tim. I want you all to stay tuned for the episode that's going to drop with Louisiana On Fire. Tim and I covered a whole lot. We had an exciting interview, man. Just excited for everybody to see it. So make sure y'all tune in.
I have it there just for the sake of the accomplishment.
Yeah,
I could look at it and be inspired.
right. Because look, I want you to drop that too. Like I said, brag on yourself. You did it for his wedding, right?
Yeah, I did his wedding.
Yeah,
did his wedding.
So I want to
styled him. I styled him also for the first time I styled him was even before the company started.
Really?
Yeah, dude gave me a shot, bro. Called him up and said, "Look, this is what I'm doing, bro. I'd love to show you what I'm doing." He said, "You know, man, timing is perfect. I'm going on Sister Circle. Can you style me for that?" Boom.
What's up, Louisiana? I'm Tim Davis, and this is another edition of Louisiana On Fire. And today we have a special guest, one of the flyest guys that I know, besides his cousins who we've interviewed already, Mr. Harold Batiste with Bespoke. Well, Harold, glad to have you here, man. Well, we're glad to be here because this is your establishment, man. So
we're glad to have you here.
Giving us the time to meet with you,
sure,
so we can learn about you, man. So
okay.
let's start right here, man. So tell me about yourself.
Harold Batiste, obviously, owner and designer with Bespoke Batiste Collection. Walking in my purpose, man. Really and truly, in short, man, I'm not very good at talking about myself, but no, man, I'm really just I'm a small town country boy from Carencro, Louisiana. You know that always had somewhat of a big city dream. You know, which led me to here, man. And you know, I'm really now, man. I'm living a dream, bro. So it's kind of surreal, even to be where I am currently. But not very much to me. I'm not a very complex guy, man. I tell people this all the time. You know, clothing is what I do. It's obviously what I do for a living, but it's not necessarily only what I do for a living. It's what I do because I enjoy doing it.
Yes, right.
But it becomes secondary, man. You know, my main job is husband and father. You know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer in the fact that God chose me. You know, for my wife and for my kids, and so they're my number one obligation, man.
Right.
I'm just, you know, I'm a working family man.
Yeah.
In short, you know. And I love to dream in fabric, man.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
You do it. So you said you married. How long y'all been married, man?
Been married for 15 years, man. I met my high school sweetheart. Been knowing her over half my life. I met her my freshman year in high school.
Come on, man.
And we've dated through high school. You know, obviously we were kids when we met,
right.
So broke up here and there, but we were always led back to one another. And we tied the knot 15 years ago. We made 15 years in July, so next year
that's
will be
a blessing,
16.
Man.
Yeah, man. We had our first kid about a year after we got married, or I guess 2 years, you'd say. Zion is 13, my oldest boy. Yeah, man, 13. About an inch or two taller than me right now.
No, really?
Yeah. So he's a real tall kid. And I have a daughter. She's 9 years old.
Yeah.
Pretty tall, athletic kid as well.
Yeah. So you got some athletes. I know that for sure.
Got a couple of athletes, man, which is crazy because I wasn't an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, I played in junior high, but I wasn't a superstar athlete. You know, I was pretty slow and I wasn't very skilled. But my kids, I only have a knack for athletics, man, and they play sports year round. So it's fun, man. I get to I get the privilege of observing that, you know what I'm saying, and seeing them do what they love, and picking their own path. And it's crazy because my son, we look just alike.
You know,
but we're not a lot alike at all. So it's cool, kind of, I guess, seeing myself grow up again.
Right.
But in a different dimension, you know, it's real cool. It's real cool.
Yeah, man. So I know, so you're a soccer dad as well. You know,
indeed.
What else he does, man?
So Zion plays football, basketball, and he runs track. He did baseball for a couple of years, but it was right at the same time as track.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a challenge. But now he's in the headspace of this year wanting to go and play soccer and baseball, along with football, basketball, and track. Now he's ambitious.
Yeah.
And being a 13-year-old. I don't think he quite understands that commitment, but he's not afraid.
Right, he's gonna try.
Yeah, and so we'll see how things go. But I think for the most part, he'll be basketball, or football, basketball, and track. And he works out over the summer. So
that's what's up, man.
It's year round, man.
Yeah.
My lifestyle is year round in terms of just my obligations and things that I'm obliged to, you know.
Right.
But it's cool, man.
That's
I love
what's
it.
up, man.
I love it. Wouldn't trade
Now,
it for the world.
let me go back, because you said that you weren't an athlete really much. So what were you doing at the time? Was like Zion's age? What were you doing?
Oh man, dreaming. Really, bro. Like I wanted to be an athlete, man, because I like sports. I love football.
Yeah.
So I love to watch it. I just wasn't very good at it. So I played for Billy McCauley, you know.
Yeah.
Did
Coach
football,
McCauley, shout
basketball.
out.
Yeah, man. Coach Mac. Did basketball, did football, did track in junior high, but I was also a band kid.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I did band from 5th grade all the way up to 12th. You know?
Really? Oh, so you was invested.
Yeah, I was really good at it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't very good at sports, but I was really good at music.
What you played?
Drums.
The drums.
The coolest instrument in the band, bro.
Come on, man. I say the loudest.
That's
is
biased,
you know what I'm
man.
saying?
But you know, I was really like self-taught and became really good at it, and I loved it. Till this day, I love music. I have music playing in my showroom. I listen to all different types of music, but the one thing I was doing that I had been doing even before music was art. You know, I've been drawing. Yeah. This guy that lived near me would come over to the house every day after school, and we sketch. You know, he was always a better drawer than me, and he would draw these trucks and lowriders and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And I would mimic what he was drawing, even though I wasn't that good. But I'd say that's probably where my passion started.
Gotcha.
Through all the other things I did, I would always draw. I'd always draw and sketch. And when I was that young, junior high, there weren't art classes or anything like that. But I would just take time when I was alone and to be creative, man. Whether I was trying to paint or whatever. I tried all different types of, you know, facets of art, but drawing and sketching has always been something I always did.
See, I didn't know that, and the reason why I'm saying that, because like I know your family, and you know, so you know, your brother, you know, shout out to Adam. I mean, country through and through.
Whiskey Bayou,
you know,
man.
Whiskey Bayou, fishing, you know, hunting, all that stuff. And then I see you,
all of it.
I see you, and I'm like, bro, you sharp, you know, to the T.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like, so you still got that in you? You still go fishing and hunting?
Oh man,
and all that,
listen, that's I think a part about my life that I admire so doggone much, man, is really where I came from.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the hood. You know, I grew up in a really rough part of town, and that's we probably get in that. But I spent a lot of time over at my grandparents' house when I was little. And my grandparents had a small farm in which cattle, pigs, chickens, ducks, if you name it, he had it on the farm, and we ate off the land, and we grew up country. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Riding horses, doing the whole nine. We did all of that stuff. So that's a part of me I feel like will be embedded in me for the rest of my life, man. I'm a small town country boy with big city dreams, man. I grew up in that. You know, that'll be a part of me where you'll catch me some days where I wear my jeans and boots, you know, and my cowboy hat, or a lot of people don't see me in t-shirts a lot, but I wear my t-shirts and things of that nature. So no, man, I still fish. I'm a decent fisherman. Tried hunting, and it was cool, you know. I'm just not that good at it. I can't get the broadside of a barn, but it's more than just being out there, you know, hunting for whatever it is, whether it be rabbit or whatever. But it's more about the fellowship, man. I get spend time with my dad, spend time with my brother, my uncles, and
Senior,
man. Right. And so it's more about that, and it's just part of who we are, man. You know, we hunt, we eat off the land, we enjoy fellowship, and I get more enjoyment even with fishing. You know, I get more enjoyment of just being around my folks. You know what I'm saying? Doing the things that we used to do when we was kids. First time I went fishing was in a canal down the street from my grandparents' house. We didn't have fishing poles. We had a stick with a little piece of string, and we made hooks out of a little piece of metal or something like that, you know? And we caught fish that way, bro. So that's just something we've always done, and I still enjoy it till this day.
Still do that, man.
Yes, indeed.
So I see, like, I know your brother be throwing down in the kitchen. You throw down in the kitchen too?
I do a little something, man, but I'm not as good. Don't get me wrong. You'll enjoy a meal, maybe. I just don't practice as much. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that just goes back to my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I cook. You know, the way we work our family, we don't have one person that's appointed to cook at my house. If I'm free and time is available, I'll cook. Vice versa, if my wife, you know. So I cook, but I don't throw down as much as my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But, you still enjoy a meal by me, though.
Right.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it,
we just got to go ahead and like,
everything looking good.
Right.
Yeah,
man. Because that's one thing I know about your family, man, because even the Charlots, they can cook. Tim's Kitchen, that's one we've done already. So
yes, indeed.
they can cook, so that's what I was kind of wondering, because I also know that you're an avid athlete as well, as far as you still run, right?
Absolutely.
So how often do you run, man? Like what got you into doing that?
I try to run about 4 to 5 days a week. It doesn't always happen that way. Yeah, man, because it's the best way to start the day off for me. I'll wake up in the morning before the day starts, before the sun comes up, and get a good 3 miles in.
3 miles.
And yeah. The goal is to do 3 miles nonstop, under 9 minutes.
What?
Oh, under 9 minutes.
Under 9
minutes per mile. I'm sorry.
Per mile. That's
average
that's
pace
still a
per
lot.
mile, which is about 27 minutes. But I compete with myself daily. It's just one of those things where I'm older now. I'm 41 years old, man, and I always did enjoy breaking a good sweat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always enjoyed being active.
Right.
I work inside, but I do my fair share outdoors.
Yeah.
I love being outside, man. Just really smelling the fresh air. Get out there in the morning, man. It's very therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's just me and the road. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And I could rationalize with myself. I could go deep into thought. I could hear from God in that process.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On that one.
Because the truth is this, man. I'm a firm believer in that sometimes you got to quiet the noise around you to hear what God has for you.
Yeah.
And that's part of that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's while I'm running or after I've accomplished that 3 miles.
Yeah.
I can sit down and really just kind of chill before I get my day started, man. So. And plus, I know it's good for me. I know it's good for my health, man. It helps my heart, obviously. And with my kids being athletes,
you got to keep up.
My son always wants to go out and throw the football.
You got to show him who
still got it. Yeah, I'm an old man, but I'm in shape. You know what I'm saying? And every year he challenges me to a foot race. I'm not very fast, but I'm in shape. I got the win.
Yeah,
even though I lose, I'm not huffing and puffing. I'm still good. But man, it's like I said, man, I enjoy it because it's a healthy thing to do, and it's a really good habit, to be in. So it's my happy place in the morning.
Like, I can't lie, man. I'm surprised. Like, I knew it, but still, I guess it still surprised me because, like, you clean. Look at you. I would never thought that you'd be running, hunting, like out in the woods and all that stuff.
Yeah,
man.
And
the elements,
surely.
But yet you still able to just be crisp.
Well, the thing about that, man, is crazy. You mentioned that because growing up, my dad and my grandfather, I feel like added a dimension to me that I so much love.
Yeah.
My dad and a lot of people wonder, like, man, where you get your style from,
right?
Whatever,
Yes.
So my grandfather and my dad both working class men. They both worked for themselves, and they worked outside. They worked with their hands.
Yeah.
Labored. My grandfather was a farrier. He shoot horses for a living. Now my grandfather, I never seen him in shorts, and I never seen him in jeans.
Really?
He never wore denim. He wore slacks and a button-up shirt every single day with a clean pair of boots. And he'd go out and shoot horses that way. And the shirt was always tucked in. He never wore a shirt untucked when he went to work.
Yeah.
He was always presentable, and he was always real clean. And when we went to a wedding or something of that nature, he had a very, very nice suit. You can count on it.
Yeah.
That Mr. Stanley Batiste was going to be pretty sharp everywhere he went. My dad, on the other hand, he's a floor installer for a living. Right. And so I would look at him when he'd wake up in the morning to go to work, and it blew my mind. I'm like, okay, Pops, you going to work? Yeah, I'm going to work. And so he wore denims, obviously, because he was, on his knees and stuff. He had to wear pretty tough pants and stuff.
Right.
But all of his jeans were sent to the cleaners for him to go to work in.
Wow.
And his shirts as well. He'd wear button-up shirt, starch down denim.
Yeah.
And
the Stay Flow starch, like to where
they were
back
stiff.
In the day?
Yeah. Now, he brought them to the cleaners, and they were heavy starch.
Right.
And his shirts were fresh shirts, and what he would do all the time, just like I do on my shirts, he'd have his initials monogrammed.
Really?
On every shirt cuff, way back in the day, and he'd also do it on his collar, which I don't do on my collar, but I do on my shirt cuffs, and that's the reason I do it, because I grew up seeing him.
So that was a big influence on you.
He was
even back then.
Very, very huge influence. He was always presentable. And on the other hand, on the other side of that coin, when we went to a wedding or any type of formal event, you can count on Mr. Batiste, Mr. Adam Batiste, Sr., having on a really nice suit. He's well presentable. And I looked at that and I aspired to be that. Right. At the same time, I aspired to be well dressed like they were, I aspired to be hard workers like they were. You know,
Yeah.
they didn't mind laboring. They could do it,
Right.
you know, without, it didn't matter,
Yeah.
you know. And so I've always, I think, had work ethic, and I didn't mind getting dirty, sweaty. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I worked in the oil field
Yeah,
for
I was going to ask.
about 10, 11 years.
Yes, right.
And for 5 to 6 of those years, I was out in the field. You know, and people who know about the oil field, it's a dirty job, man.
Right.
Oil-based mud, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. And, you know, I got dirty, but I got clean immediately after. They would tease me, man, because I packed a big duffel bag full of coveralls. And the minute one set of coveralls would get dirty, I'd take them off and spray them down with stain remover and put a fresh pair on.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So
man,
like you out there, so you was working offshore.
Well, I was working in the oil field. I wasn't offshore, but I used to work a lot of land rigs. Here in the state. Yeah.
So you go out to work in the elements.
Yeah.
In your coveralls.
Sure.
And you got some dirt on them. You like,
not immediately, but if I had a break and I felt like I was, you know, they were starting to have a little stench to them and they were dirty, I'd take them off and put a fresh pair on. Because if I had a break, I had to go and sit down in my company truck. And I wouldn't dare get in the truck and sit down on the seat with a dirty pair of coveralls because I had to sit there.
Yeah.
It wasn't very sanitary. I just couldn't do it. You know, maybe a little bit OCD part of me, but I just couldn't do it. I kept a lot of clean coveralls on deck. But again, it was just like habit, bro. You know, I've never seen my dad and grandfather walk around and just sit in dirty, sweaty clothes. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I didn't judge anybody else who did. It was just my thing. You know? And it was really just something that I saw growing up that I adopted. You know, I saw it continually. And that's why I feel like it's important. You know, we show our youth versus telling them. You know, it's easy to tell somebody you want them to do something, but you could set an example.
Right.
It's right there in their face every day. Man, you know, so you know what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And I could see that happening with my son now.
Yeah, he's learning from you.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Because I do see like you got him modeling your clothes and everything.
Yes, indeed.
Man. Indeed. So like, does he enjoys that?
He loves it, man. And it was crazy because I didn't think he would, because I thought he would be more like me. I was shy when I was a kid, and I was afraid to dress up because I didn't like all eyes on me, or I didn't like to really make myself a spectacle. Attention would make me cringe. And still till this day, I'm not really the guy that likes a lot of attention. A lot of people don't believe that because of the way I dress. But man, I used to be afraid to be who I was, bro, and like really dress. You know what I mean? Though. But and that's a whole other topic. But Zion is a very outgoing personality, and him and I did a photo shoot one day. And after the photo shoot, he was like, "Well, Daddy, where we going?" Man, we done, bro. We going home. You know, we gonna chill out. We gonna relax. Man, let's go somewhere.
He felt good.
I said, what you mean? Fresh. Let's go somewhere. He's like, man, let's just go somewhere. I said, you want people to see you today? He said, yeah, you know, I wouldn't mind if some people saw me today. We was pretty clean. We had tuxedos on that I made father and son tuxedos and stuff. And he wanted to be out and about and be seen and stuff like that. And it was cool, man. Yeah. And at that point, I saw he would enjoy dressing.
Yeah.
So I
almost feel like Z kind of like brings that out of you more though. Like that's the, you know, like that confidence that he has. I feel like he might bring that out of you by you seeing him.
Man, you know, I never looked at it that way, man. But I could agree to that, you know, to an extent, because the first thing I thought of, I was like, okay, we're gonna go home, and we're gonna get undressed. You know what I mean? And we out in that not far from here doing the photo shoot, and man, people were passing by and complimenting this, and I'm like, oh man, this is kind of crazy.
You're like, oh, you know, man.
But I enjoyed it too, man, especially because it was one of those moments with him that I'll never forget. Yeah. You know, it was one of the first tuxedos that I created that we did photo shoots in, this is it right here, right behind us.
See, I knew that one looked familiar, man.
And so we imported this material in. It's got African silk embroidered on it. I bought that material before we started the company.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm gonna do something special with that. And I made father and son matching tuxedos. Man.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that day, bro, that him and I did.
That was a big moment, man.
Yeah, man. It's really, really cool. And it's like I look back, I'm like, man, what if I was that confident when I was young? You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't my story. But it's one thing I could say, and I could be proud that he's a confident young boy.
Yeah.
And I believe he'll grow up to be a confident young man, not in an arrogant type of way, but he'll be the kid that knows who he is and he's certain.
Yeah.
And he doesn't mind being 100% him.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah, he's doing
it. Is inspiring.
Let me ask you that, because I know you like it'd be another topic, but like for you back then, you know, when you were his age, like what kind of held you back?
Yeah,
you know, from like what was that hurdle that?
Man, there was some things I was going through personally, I guess, man, and I didn't have a bad childhood at all, bro.
Yeah.
I was just not a very confident kid. I viewed myself as the black sheep, you know,
come on,
so to speak. Yeah,
because it was you, Sid, Adam.
Yeah, I was the oldest of three.
Right.
And one of about 30 to 40 grandkids
right. Oh, yeah.
in my family.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wasn't very outspoken, and I just lacked confidence, bro. And two, I was different, and still to this day, I'm very different, and not in a way that puts me here and puts anybody else there, but I'm just different. That's all I could say. You know, who I am is different from the average person. You know? I'm just one of those different people that, as a kid, I didn't embrace my difference. No, I went through being laughed at by my peers in school.
Come on, man, really?
Yeah, man. I didn't bloom very quickly. You know what I'm saying? I was slower than a lot of the kids. I wasn't like dumb or whatever, but I grew up a little bit slower than the kids in my environment. And, you know, quite often I was laughed at, man, because I was just a different kid. I was the shy kid, you know, had acne, you know what I'm saying? And just a lot of my insecurities weighed on me, man. And I was treated a little differently because I was different. So, and I guess as a kid, I still expected to be treated the same, even though I was different, but that kind of don't make sense, you know, and I had to realize that as an adult, you know, like I said previously, you know, I always desired to dress up, but I was like, man, if I dress up, I'll become a spectacle, because kids my age aren't dressing up.
They're not doing these
They're
things.
not doing that.
Right.
I'm going to be laughed at again. And I didn't like that feeling, man. You know, I didn't like being laughed at. I didn't like being laughed at because I wasn't very athletic, or because, you know, I was just slower to grow up than other kids. I hated that feeling. And so I would just hold back from being me versus embracing it.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just the pressures of being a kid and the pressures of being different. You know what I mean? And I know that people saw that Harold was different, you know, because I saw it. Yeah. And I just didn't know what that would even look like as an adult, man. So it was terrifying, being who I was. But fast forward, you know, as an adult, I decided to do some personal growth. You know, my wife and I actually decided to do that together, and really discovering who I am, what my purpose is, and just being okay with being imperfect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So how did you guys do that? Like, what things did you and your wife do in order to find out who you guys are?
Really, we invested in some programs that forced us to deal with specific things about us individually that we wouldn't have otherwise dealt with. You know what I'm saying? We enrolled into a program which was a couple of months long, a few months long. There were certain stages you had to go to and to complete, and then go on to the next one.
Yes.
It was like this program that, not to say had us locked in, but we were tied to this program for from a Thursday to a Sunday. It was almost like a personal growth retreat, if you will. And so we tied ourselves to that, and we committed to it. And I won't say that's the beginning of me finding out a lot of stuff, and, you know, getting to a place to where I 100% accept who I am.
Right.
But it was a step. You know what I'm saying? That's not what started it, but that's what catapulted it.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And man, I'm ever so thankful for those moments, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I agree, man. Because I feel like me personally, I've been knowing you for years, and you've always. I would have never known any of that. I would have thought that you've always had the confidence, you know, that I see from you now. And maybe I saw it, but you didn't see it in yourself. But I saw it, you know. Yeah, man. But me being younger than you, you know, I didn't feel it was my place to be like, man, Harold, bro, you confident, man. I see it. You know?
Bro, I was not, man. I was not. I was just, I don't know what it was, but I wasn't. Most people have no clue. I dealt with a lot of that, and I'm not gonna say it's like I didn't drive myself into depression or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I dealt with a lot at the end of the day. You know, I would go home and have to really decompress
Yeah.
and replay my day and convince myself like this day wasn't so bad. I beat myself up, bro, like a lot.
And this was during like the off field days, or
Yeah, man. Before and through my all field days, and even a short bit after my all field days, it was pretty tough.
come on,
You
man,
know,
a lot of pressure on yourself.
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, man. But I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was necessary. You know, a lot of people. Oh, I know for me, for certain, I didn't like it so much to where I'm like, man, God, why? You know, why me, man? Like, I like think I'm a pretty decent person. You know, I live by a right and wrong principle,
Right.
and I you know, intentional about being on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on purpose, because it's the right thing to do. We were all born with a sense of right and wrong.
Yeah.
And my purpose is to walk on the side that's right at all times. And so I didn't understand those trials. I didn't understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling, you know. Didn't understand specific things that I would go through. And like coming out of those things, I could understand that I've grown through it.
Yeah.
You know, but most people had no clue because and I wasn't out there pretending. I was just, for the most part, real quiet, monotone. Yeah. And I try to practice not wearing my emotions on my sleeves. You know, that's something I've gotten good at since I was a kid.
Yeah.
The things I went through inside my mind, most people wouldn't have known I was going through those things because I trained myself to not let anybody see me sweat.
Yeah, that's always been one of my biggest principles too. Never let them see you sweat.
But you know what I did though, man? Even with that, I would suppress so much. It would get to a point to where I wouldn't even tell my wife how I was feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and she looking at me, she's like, yo, bro, like, what's wrong with you? You know? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And one night her and I were talking and I broke down.
Yeah.
Started crying.
Yeah.
You know, I never saw my dad and my grandfather cry a whole lot. So yeah.
Same with me. Yeah.
Cry for what? You know,
yeah.
The one thing I always want to be as a man is strong. But then I have to realize strength doesn't mean I can't cry or I can't have emotions. You know what I mean? And I broke down in front of her, and it was one of the hardest things I had ever done in my life, man. Yeah. I'm like, I'm supposed to be the man and the leader of this family.
What I was gonna say. That's how.
And here I am displaying this level of weakness to this woman, and she's smiling. And I was like, it's not funny.
This is not nothing to joke about.
Yeah, I'm not joking. Like, I'm the man around here. You know? And I don't have a big ego, bro.
No,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess every man has a bit of an ego to some extent, but I was just like, here I am, you know, like crying my eyes out. What's funny? She's like, man, I've been waiting for this, you know.
Yeah.
Like forever. You know what I mean? And so I had to learn what I had been doing wasn't serving me very much. And mind you, bro, I'm still not gonna walk around about society wearing my emotions right here. You're not gonna know if I'm going through something because, man, honestly, bro, I don't feel like it's fair, you know, to you as my friend that I'm around you like a dark cloud.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be around you and I'm going through something, you know what I'm gonna look for, bro? Some inspiration, because I know you're a good guy.
Yeah.
So whatever the heck I'm going through, I'm gonna find something positive through our conversation, or whether we fellowship and cooking, whatever the case may be. We gonna chill. You know, we gonna have a good time, and whatever I was going through could wait. It's not fair to you. You know what I'm saying? But it's also not fair addressing the issues with myself. So I'll get home and, you know, I'll handle those things accordingly. But a lot of that has to do with mindset. And I feel like once I saw myself for who I was, I was like, bro, nothing is wrong with you. You
right. It wasn't taught not to do, and it wasn't taught to do. You just saw it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what you did, bro. My grandpa never. Dude, he cried one time. One time I saw this dude cry.
Yeah.
And man, my grandpa lost his youngest son. He lost brothers. He had hardship. Like, no tears, bro. He suppressed it. And I mean, I can't sit there and say that man had no feelings. Because I know he did.
Right.
You know, via his actions and the way he treated me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I saw him cry one time, bro.
Yeah. he is human. After all.
You know, but at the same time, I'm like, man, that don't discount what I've seen over the years. Bro.
Yeah.
Like, and that I thought I had to be that all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, I have emotions, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was at a point to where I had to, my chest up, no emotions. I'm not crying. I'm not weak,
right,
and whatnot. But and I'm by no means a weak man.
Mm-hmm.
I have weak moments, man. And I used to be afraid to have a weak moment, bro. And don't get me wrong, I still hate them.
Yeah.
I still hate weak moments.
It's uncomfortable.
Because listen, dog, I'm in the grind of my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time. For instance, my mentality. Like, yo, I don't have time for that.
I got you.
Like, train moving, like, come on, momentum is momentum.
Yeah.
And so my recovery time is way quicker now than it has ever been when I'm having a weak moment. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's become a mind over matter type thing. And I got a strong wife too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I got a strong rib. I got a strong rib, man. She's responsible. And obviously, bro, and I say she's responsible, but all praise to the Most High, for having her in my life and really investing me in what He wants me to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's first and foremost. Understood, but she's responsible for a lot of where I am and what people are seeing. We a strong team. We do everything together. We make decisions together. We operate as a unit. And she's a confident person, and I could just remember her and still till this day being such an encourager.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got this, man. Go for it. You do this. You do that. You can do it.
Yeah.
What you thinking about it for? You need to just do it.
Yeah.
With this brand.
I was going to ask, is that, and John, we good right now? Okay, all right, let me make sure. So that's why I wanted to go with that, though. So, like, whenever you started this, like, tell me how this happened, man. How did this come about, and how did you get the name? That's
all right, man. All right. So I might get a little long-winded.
That's fine.
So let's see. So first off, like, this started years and years and years and years ago, probably in art class my senior year, high school. Always enjoyed dressing, like I said, and I began to sketch designs for clothing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, whatever, bro. It's just kind of one of those, because I was in a phase where I draw cartoon characters. First I would draw cars.
Okay.
Then I draw cartoon characters. And then I tried to draw people, which I never got really good at. And I just tried different things, and so here came clothing. And so I was just kind of fooling around, because in my mind I always have an idea of how I want an outfit to look on me before I even put it on. I was a fashion planner, if you will. And so I kind of suppressed it, man. By the time I graduated, I probably had about 3 or so letters from art institutes. I'm Dallas, Arizona.
Wow.
So I took the letters and I tucked them under the bed, because I know I had a younger brother and sister that my parents were going to be providing education for, and I just didn't want that to burden my parents with that. You know what I'm saying? So I tucked it under the bed and went on into the workforce, and still continued to dress and dream and draw and sketch. Well, fast forward, my wedding is coming up. Toy and I engaged, we get ready to be married, and I can't find the suit that I want. And so I had this design that I did a couple of years before I even proposed. And it was like, that would be my ideal suit. I had sketched on paper. And I was in this one place, and I was like, man, if I could have a suit tailor-made, I got a design. And they were like, well, we have a tailor in the back. He works for us, but you can probably commission him to do this for you if you want it. And so I'll come back tomorrow with the sketch, and if he said he can do it, we got to be there.
Yeah.
So I went back there and I met with the guys. This is a guy he was from Africa, bro. Strong African accent. His name's Bob. Never forget that guy for as long as I live. And I brought him the sketch. He looked at me casually. Yeah, you can do it. All right, perfect. Here's the sketch. Let me know what you need, So paid the deposit. And he called me, I guess, a month and a half later. He's like, come in, I need you to do a fit. Went in, and it was just, it didn't look like a suit at all. He put it on me, my nerves are bad. I'm like, bro, is this gonna happen or what?
Yeah.
I trusted him with my design. So, long story short, he made it. Got married 15 years ago. I'm like, wow, I could really do this. But at that time, I just started in oil film. Year after that, Zion was on the way.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, well, I gotta provide for his kid, milk, pampers, etc.
Right.
And so I was just like grinding, man, and I kind of suppressed fashion. And then really good friends of mine, Trev and Mikey George, they may see this, and they know this, I've told them this before, but they started a clothing brand. And it was like, look, man, we want you to do some drawing and designing and just kind of help us out with some things. I'm like, wow, bro.
Yeah.
They trust me to do something like that, you know, just seeing some of my sketches previously. And man, I was obliged and I was thrilled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, definitely I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I told you, whatever you need, I'd love to.
Right.
You know, and so I did that, and I guess that was a moment that defined a headspace of, man, you have a knack for it, you can do it. But still, you know, I was like still sketching and just kind of dreaming on paper. And fast forward, my wife and I had gotten into the life insurance industry.
Okay.
In which I had already did about 9.5 to 10 years with Halliburton at that point. I was in management there and became interested in life insurance. And I was like, okay, life insurance is important. I was like, well, maybe I'll go and see, because my wife was licensed and she was doing it full time. Like, well, maybe I'll go and see what she's doing, because I was kind of at a crossroads where I was like, okay, I don't feel like the oil field is for me anymore.
Right.
You know, I wanted to get out of it. I had a burning desire to get out. And so I went and I saw what that was like. I went to a meeting and I was like, I think it's cool. Went to a second meeting, I'm like, okay, it's interesting. Went to a third meeting, I'm like, okay, I think I love the idea of this.
Yeah.
And only in that because I realized how important life insurance was and how people pass away.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
etc.
Right.
And my wife, yeah, you know, my wife still till this day has her own practice, Batiste Life Insurance Group. Just plug that in.
Yes.
But, you know, I became interested in that. I was like, you know what? We're doing really well. I was able to replace my income from the oil field. I was like, this is it. I'm resigning. I couldn't believe I was doing it, but I knew I was ready.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm doing this.
Exhausted.
I was by no means a salesman.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like it was important for people to have, because I was pretty responsible, and before I ran into the industry, I didn't have enough or adequate life insurance. So like, okay, if I don't have this, a lot of people need to hear about it. So did that, man, and dove headfirst into life insurance, and I gave it my absolute all, bro. You hear me? And so that obviously prompted me to wear suits a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I wasn't making my own clothes at this point, but I was pretty good at composition. When I say composition, just putting different colors and styles together. And so one of the partners in the office I was in, I walked into his office and he was like, hey man, you pretty good dresser. When you gonna start your own clothing line? I'm like, this dude don't know me that well.
Right.
You know, but I aspire to do that. I'm like, well, you know, man, I thought about that and I didn't tell him. I was like, I thought about that, but I just don't know what I'm gonna call it. And there's a guy by the name of Jeremy Desertel. That's another guy that, you know, he made a mark on me. And he's like, man, you should call it Bespoke Batiste. And I didn't even know what bespoke meant back then. And bespoke just means that it's custom, it's made to fit one's style. And of course, my last name. And so I was like, oh, that sounds cool. And I just, you know, never paid it much mind. And I kind of just thought about it for a few days. You know what I mean? And I guess maybe even some weeks or maybe even a month went by. And I was like, I told my wife, I was like, yo, if I started a clothing line, that would definitely be the name. Because I looked up the meaning of bespoke, obviously. And then I was like, well, let me look up what my last name means. Batiste is actually like a fine linen fabric.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, it starts of a line.
Yeah, I'm about to say it, man. Yeah.
Right? And so at that point, I had made these vision cards. And it had one of the first shirts that I designed on the card. And I wrote on the back of it how it would feel and what it would be and to have this brand. And I still didn't fully believe it at that point. Because I'm here first, I'm like, for sure.
Right.
I'm making a ton of money doing it. It's going great. And I was just kind of on the back end of life insurance. My wife was really the driving force of it. And I actually provided it to people. And so it came a point to where I decided I was going to get out and I was going to actually sell it myself versus just help it. So we'll double up, you know?
Yeah.
And I got out there, man. and I had the purest of intentions. I just wasn't as good at it as my wife. You know what I'm saying? And so I would try my heart out, man. I would travel to Mississippi, I travel to Texas, spend nights and days out there, trying to build our business and doing life insurance. And I did fairly well, but I didn't do great at it as she did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And again, we still did really good, but it was just one of those things where I was like, dang, man, I'm still not that good, and I'm just doing it. And I had no intentions of giving up on it. I was like, well, I'm gonna get better.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that, man. But that showed me, kind of fast forward, that life insurance was on me, but it wasn't in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was one of those things I had learned how to do, but it wasn't embedded in me. It wasn't what I was created to do. And so I was scratching my head one day. I'm like, hold on. I left my oil field career, which I was pretty decent at doing, to try life insurance. And I did it. Like, what if, just what if I applied that to this clothing brand deal?
Right.
And I started to, send emails and get in touch with people to get in touch with fabric mills and places like that, and sent a bunch of emails, made some calls, and mostly all of those calls and emails fell on deaf ears.
No.
Yeah, for a couple of years, easily.
Wow.
To where I just I gave up. I'm like, I'm scratching it. Ain't happening. We don't have insurance right now. And fast forward again, I'm like, okay, something gotta give. I said, let me start. I just came in. I just got in an accident, broke my arm horribly. Had to have 2 plates and 17 screws put in it. So I was in a really deep, dark place. I couldn't ride. I wasn't doing insurance at the house, just chilling. Kind of drove me down, bro.
Right.
And coming out of that, was when we started doing a lot of this personal growth work. And I was like, look, I'm gonna start sending these emails again to a lot of the same people. And lo and behold, I got responses. I'm like, wait a minute, they actually responded.
Yeah.
And so, because people in the people in this industry want to know you're credible. They want to know who they're dealing with, like who the name of your company is, what, where are you based, etc., etc. They want to know you're serious, and I had no credibility. And so I made a relationship with one fabric mill. Fast forward, had them do a suit for us. Enjoyed it, came out nice, beautiful. Fast forward that, made another relationship. Got to examine the material from them, loved it, was awesome. And during that time, I was like, okay, I'm done with life insurance. What I'm gonna do is my wife is still doing life insurance. I'm gonna go back into the oil field. And I'm gonna work myself out of it again, like I did the previous time. My idea was to simultaneously start this business while going back into my old role as a service coordinator at Halliburton.
Yeah.
And so that's a demanding job.
Yes, absolutely.
24-hour call, tied to my laptop and my phone. And so, needless to say, that didn't work out. I'm sitting here with the potential and not the time. I got relationships with fabric mills that could provide fabric to me. I got relationships with tailors that could do sewing for me, but I had no time to invest in building that business. Fast forward, I was employed for a year. I got laid off. I had a pretty easy job, a handsome salary that I knew good and well they didn't need, And so it was like, look, I'm like, hey, look, I don't understand, And so what I did was I got another job because that was my plan. It wasn't God's plan.
Yeah, right.
And so I was employed with this company for 30 days. And this was a company that was going to actually send me offshore. And it's crazy because I got the picture immediately when I walked in for the interview. There were pictures of these offshore rigs. And I looked at the pictures and something told me, and it was God, you'll never see those rigs in person. And I ignored it, went in, killed the interview, got employed for 30 days. 2020. Pandemic.
Yep.
So that was kind of crazy. On the 30th day, I was just about to get out of training. I was like 5 minutes late that day because I had to drop my truck off to get serviced. And I walked in, I said, oh, man, my apologies, I'm here, let's get rolling, you know. It's like, well, bro, you're late, but it's okay, it's over. I thought they were joking.
Yeah.
You know, but we all got laid off.
Oh.
And I was like, man, y'all serious? Like, yeah. And so I went, man, did my paperwork, went home, looked at my office, said, well, I'm laid off. She's like, okay. I'm like, bro, like my plan down the drain. What you talking about?
Yeah, right,
you know,
right.
like,
Yeah.
you got your stuff that you're doing, but my plan is going down the drain. I'm like, how am I gonna do what I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I'll be honest with you. If you go and get another job, you crazy. So kind of, you know how a dog would kind of look at you like, what? And so I looked at her, yeah. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, you sleeping on yourself. Like you need to go and focus on your business.
Yeah.
Now is the time.
Right.
We in pandemic here, bro. But I was like, maybe you're right. I didn't shower, I chilled. Next day I woke up, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. And just like, yeah, I totally think you should. That's what I told you. I wasn't joking. You do whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
Whatever you need, you let me know. Like, do what you gotta do. I said, so we're just self-funded. And she's like, yeah, we'll be good. So we were already renting a space, but it hadn't even dawned on me, bro. I started working from my house. First client was my brother.
Yes.
We did a tuxedo to go to Zulu.
I remember that.
So like my brother is the guy, bro, and like hats off to him, man, because for his age, man, he's like such a mature guy.
He is.
Wavelength.
Also.
Like, yeah, I got a lot of respect for him. Like, I mean, his support did have something to do with the fact that I'm his brother. But if it doesn't matter, I think who you are with him, he wants to know that you can provide the service.
Yeah.
Period. It don't matter. You know, and I respect that so much, man. He's not just like, oh yeah, I'm going to give it to you.
Right.
No, I'm going to spend my money with you. I want to know that it's going to be legit.
Yeah.
And so he trusted me to do that. I'm like, wow. He hit me up to do it. I wasn't like, hey bro, let me do something for you. He was like, yo, going to Zulu, I need something. And we did it. We measured him at my house, at our office at the house. And did that. And then another gentleman came to see me. His name's Edward James. The first person that came to see me that I didn't know, and he didn't really know me. He just kind of saw and heard about what I was doing. And we ended up doing his. And at that point, I was like, all right, a little bit of traction, not much, but we were renting an office space already and we weren't using it. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna move my stuff into there and I'm gonna start seeing people there. And so, bro, move my stuff in there. Mind you, we 2020, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm in the office and I'm twiddling my thumbs, bro. I would go in there every day. I didn't have clients, I didn't have anything going on. But that was a time in my life where I learned to be attentive to what God is trying to tell me. I knew that's where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And I remember telling my wife one day, I'm like, yo, I'm about to put myself in a position where I can hear from God. And whatever that means, I'm like, if you find me quiet and kind of stand out or something, I'm just trying to hear from you, you know? And I was like, look, I recommend you do the same thing, be in a position to hear from God. And the voice said it, you need to be in that office. And I was just there dreaming, sketching, planning, just, you know,
Like you did back in the day.
Yeah. I didn't have any committed clients. Only other client I had was a cousin of mine who wanted me to do something for his son for prom. My cousins came in and Fallon. We did something for his son. In fact, Southside. We went Southside. So we did that. But that was the only client I had at the time. I was in the office, but I got a call one day from a couple from North Louisiana, bro. Not even from here.
Yeah.
And this was via a recommendation from some folks that know Latoya and I. It was like, look, some new guys in this, y'all need to check them out. So the lady called me, and she's like, yo, I need a pink and navy blue tuxedo jacket. I'm like, okay, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? I have that material in here, but I was like in shock. I'm like, is this gonna materialize?
Yeah,
or
right.
Just a call?
Where's this going?
And long story short, they materialized and ended up being a whole tuxedo. Because at first she just wanted me to do the jacket.
Yeah.
And they passed by. She's like, hey, I was thinking, you doing the jacket. Can you just go down and do the whole thing? The time frame was really, really short. Listen, I'll try my best. Let me have a meeting and talk with my tailors and see if we get material and etc. Well, we were able to make it happen. came from Louisiana. He put the tuxedo on. He was thrilled. He was like, yo, I'm gonna invite you to my wedding, bro. I love what you do.
Wow.
And we went to the wedding, bro.
Come on, man.
And enjoyed it thoroughly, man. A gentleman by the name of Jeremy Atkins up there, man. It's another guy who will be embedded in the history of this business forever.
Yeah.
But did that and we posted a picture of it on social media. And from that time, and obviously 2020 was kind of like a dead year, but I was still getting calls from people that wanted to prepare for their weddings once the lockdown was lifted. And so we ended up just kind of like chilling that year, taking it easy, man. And after that, the phone started ringing, and it has never stopped ringing since then, bro. And for me, that's nothing short of a miracle. I'll be honest with you, bro, because it's like, you know how you know something is gonna work out? Mm-hmm. You just know. You don't necessarily have the visual proof of it. You just like know something is gonna work out. And it's like one of those things that happened in my life was like, wow, I had the dream, I had the vision, and it's really happening. Yeah. Like, and I would pray all the time, God, send me the people. Mm-hmm. Just send people that are in alignment with my business that would have me design something for their occasions. And He has been sending people for the last 3 years. 3 years now. It's all His work, bro. I could honestly say, and mind you, bro, like, we do our share of posting on social media, which we don't do very much of, and we want to improve in that arena, but it's just a testament to what I feel like God has for my life and what He has been having, but I wasn't in position to receive it quite yet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And He just blessed the idea. He blessed what He had already invested me with, bro, and huge, and like I said before, bro, like, it's all God orchestrated, this whole deal, bro. You know what I'm saying? He sees further into the future than we have any idea of. Right. But the people that have come to support me, it's been unreal, bro. Like, again, this is coming from a really shy guy. Yeah. Everybody don't necessarily even know, because when I appear in places, I'm more like a fly on the wall, in and out. Nobody ever knew I was there. To a point where, oh man, I know you, but I don't know you. Right. You know, I've seen your work. You know, it's gotten to that place to where name saturation is starting to happen. People are starting to know me for my work, even though they don't necessarily know all about me, who I am, and everything like that. Yeah. Man. So it's just, like I say, living the dream.
Man, you doing it. This is why I wanted you on here, man, because this is where people get to know the real Harold. The Harold that I know for the most part, but it's some things I didn't know about him apparently. Yeah. But I wanted to say this too, man. Like, I felt like two things. I felt like you're a diamond, and I'm saying that because the pressure that you had to experience is the same pressure that diamonds come from. You know what I'm saying? Sure. They have to go through this pressure in order to become what they are. Yeah. And I feel like that's what you had to go through. You had to go through that pressure. You had to feel that pressure in order to shine like you're doing right now.
Thank you know, man.
And also, I also feel like the times you got laid off, that was God saying, like, that's not what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, man.
I gotta make you get out of here. You got to get out of here. And same thing happened to me. You know, I got laid off as well. You know, my wife was pregnant with our first at the time, and we had just got our house, and I'm like, man. But I know that if I didn't leave, if that didn't happen, I would have stayed where I was.
Right, surely.
But now everything else is happening now. If I would have stayed there, I wouldn't be having the things I have now. Absolutely. You know, and having the people like you to spotlight like we're doing now. Man. You know, so it's all coming through, man. And I feel like this is where you're supposed to be, man. And you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm loving it, man. I'm
doing it, man.
I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time, man. I'm excited to wake up every day, to get my miles in. Yeah. Drop my kids to school. Right. And come and do what I love. Yeah. And just, like I say, dreaming and fabric.
Man, but tell me about if you can. You may not be able to, but tell me about some of the big names that you've worked with or you about to work with. If you can say these
surely,
things.
Man. That's the easy one, bro. And hats off to this guy, man. The brother has been a beacon of light for the city, and really to the world, man. And I think it's discounted a lot. What he's done, but the infamous Cupid, Rice and Bernard, man, like my guy, man.
Yes.
So that guy, man, has he welcomed me with open arms. I was on my second stint at Halliburton, again trying to work my business and work the job. I hit him up and I said, hey bro, this is what I'm doing. I'd love to sit down with you, man. I know you're in the spotlight all the time. You know, I love the opportunity to suit you one day. And I'm expecting a guy of this caliber to be too busy to see me. Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah, man, definitely, man. Look, bro, what you can do is you can come on over, man. Look, I got a lot going on, but I have time on this day, that day, and whatever. I said, so we picked the date. I'm like, okay, we picked the date. But this brother's probably gonna call me and reschedule because he's busy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And so this is maybe like a Wednesday. I'm working. I take my lunch break from Halliburton. I was like, there's no way I'm missing a meeting with this guy. I'm gonna go see him.
Right.
Meet him at his house, man. So, man, you sure, man? I could run out a little booth or something for us to meet. He's like, man, come over to the house, man. We'll talk. And so I went over, bought some materials and stuff. He said, listen, I already know you. You know, and we've been acquainted before.
Yeah.
We haven't talked business before. It's like, look, dude, I already know you. You're a good dresser. I know you're gonna be good at what you do. So you're gonna show me all this stuff. He said, you came at the perfect time. I'm about to go on the Sister Circle. It's a TV show. And I'm like, no, he's not gonna tell me you're gonna dress me for that. He's like, yo, dress me for that.
Wow. Come on, man.
And he bought out a hat. He said, design the outfit around this hat.
Yeah.
You know how those youngsters say these days, say less. I was like, bet.
Yeah, bet.
You know, we'll make it happen. And that was it, bro. It was like, look, bro, I trust you. I'm not worried about nothing. Go ahead on, get me suited for that. Perfect, man. Took his measurements on the spot. Went back to Halliburton. Got home. Told him, finished my work day over there. And by the way, I wasn't like neglecting my job. I still took care of my business, you know. To those y'all work with, you might think otherwise, but. Cause I mean, I'm big on that, bro. Like if I agree to do a job, I'm gonna do that job.
Right.
You know, I was there and I did my job. Just had to say that.
Yeah.
It's part of just integrity for me.
Yes.
But went home and told my wife all about this, man. I'm like, dear, that's what you call it, dear. I said, dear, we're gonna do this thing for Cupid. Like it's gonna be a hit. Like, he gave me free range. I could design what I want. And we designed it from head to toe, man. Jacket, shirt, pants. We designed a custom pair of boots for him. And he wore it on TV, man, and I was just like, wow. Fast forward, he did a billboard right off of I-10. And he had told me he was going to be doing a billboard, but I had no idea he'd be wearing the jacket I did for him. And it's on my way to drop my kids to school, and I'm like, yo, look. The jacket we did is on the doggone billboard. I'm like, so he's a guy, really, bro, he believes in helping his community grow.
Yes.
It's not about him, although he's done a lot.
Yeah.
He's very well accomplished, bro.
Absolutely.
It's not all about him, man. You have a lot of people say, yo, bro, I'm gonna put you on. That guy put me on.
He literally did, man.
And with a big heart. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
and didn't ask for anything in return.
Nothing.
You know? Nothing
whatsoever, man. He's a man's man, bro. And he's a really real down to earth guy. Fast forward, we did his wedding. We did tuxedo for his wedding.
Boom.
And even there, he's like, yo, you gotta come to the wedding, bro. Like, man, we're gonna be there. And had the honor of suiting him for that very special occasion, man. And that's another thing that catapulted this business, because at least once a week, people come in and say, yeah, you did Cupid's wedding, right? I sure did.
Yeah.
I absolutely
I'm that
did.
guy.
Yeah, I'm guilty as charged, but just an overall great guy, man. Great guy, man. And even like I said, even before that, we become acquainted and have a relationship with him. But we did that. I'm trying to think of who else, man. We did Mr. Digger Earls. Earls. We did
wow.
for him. And there's some other things in the pipeline there, man, that we hoping is gonna materialize. I'm extremely hopeful.
Yeah.
Some big things coming up that we're gonna do. My business partner and I are in some conversations right now, and I think it's gonna do some real good things for business.
Man, you are well on your way, man. Like I have to say, like you doing it. I'm gonna say this. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, man.
I'm glad that you've kept on that path. You know, and you might have determined we all do. We all kind of jump off and take these different exits, but you got back on the path to where you needed to be, man, and you're doing it. Let me ask you this though. So when people come in, like, what kind of experience are you giving them? What do they have to look forward to whenever they contact you?
Yeah, definitely. So, man, and this is one of the things I pride myself on is the experience, man. So if you contact me, man, you know, obviously I ask you a few questions just to kind of get a feel of what you're wanting. We'll invite you to the showroom. We'll set up a private consultation where it's me, you, your spouse, or you know whoever you have in you, whether we're planning for a wedding or a gala or it doesn't matter. We'll have you come in and do a private consultation. That's just us in here. We'll look at some material. We'll let you touch, feel them. You know, we may put out a few sketches and talk about, you know, everything you want. And we'll design the suit from head to toe. No matter if we're gonna design it based off of a hat you have or a pair of shoes you have, doesn't really matter. We'll take our time and I'll do a consultation and schedule up. I'll block out about 2 hours. Does it take that long every time? Absolutely not. But we're gonna make sure that when you leave, you're excited about what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And try to paint a picture and help you see it before you see it. Because in here, we have fabrics that you're gonna look at, not necessarily a full suit. Every suit we compose is gonna be a one of a kind. For example, today, the jacket I'm wearing, I designed this jacket specifically for me. And everything I'm wearing has 100% intention. The jacket is a double-breasted, what I like to refer to as a captain's jacket.
Okay.
Whether you're the captain of a plane, whatever, or you're the captain of a ship. And I designed this jacket for the special intention that to remind myself that even though I march to the beat of my own drum and I'm the captain of my destiny, I'm but a co-pilot. Because God is the ultimate captain. I wear my captain's jacket, but hey, I'm on the passenger side.
Yeah.
God is the ultimate captain.
Yeah.
And I got it personalized with my initial here. I'm wearing this blue pocket square because I dreamed of my grandmother last night. This is her favorite color.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? The colors of the jacket is blue and gold. And I'm wearing pale yellow trousers. And I'm wearing a white shirt because I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
Those are our colors. You know? I like to consider myself a diehard. And really, it represents where I came from. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that'll just be forever embedded in me. I wear brown shoes to represent the dirt I grew from.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy.
Everything has a purpose that I do, man. My tie has a splash of color because I'm a firm believer in putting a pop color, having some flair, some flash, some pop.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to be seen, but it's an outward feeling of my innermost intentions. And on my shirt is a monogram established 1982 to remind me when my journey started.
Yeah.
You know, to remind you when that seed first started to sprout out of the dirt I played in. You know, and so that's part of the experience I provide to a client. And everybody doesn't want to get that big of a composition, but we can. Yeah. You know, my intention is that when you leave here with a suit or a tuxedo or whatever it is, it's everything you want it to be and nothing less. You know, it's as personal as you want it to be, and it has as much flair as you want it to be. It's as business professional as you want it to be. We cover a wide array of compositions. Yeah. Whether you're a lawyer, whether you get married and you wanna shine like a diamond, whether you want to a prom, or whether you just want a suit that you can go to weddings to, whether you want to do a wardrobe revamp. You know, I have some clients that come in one suit at a time. Or replacing everything in their wardrobe to make it more personal. My job is to help people to develop their own fashion fingerprint. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's important. I'm sorry.
No, you good, man. Go ahead.
Can you edit this?
Oh yeah.
Hey, brother. Hey, okay, you can come on up, man. Are you in the back or the front? Okay. It's locked? Okay. Is it open? Yes, sir. Come upstairs, second floor. Yes, sir. My apologies.
No, man, you good.
But no, that's really the main point. And everybody, most people have their fashion fingerprint figured out. Yeah. But for those who may be a little afraid of stepping out and putting a little color on besides the blues, blacks, grays, and stuff like that. I get excited to sit down across from them and say, all right, how far can we push you outside of your comfort zone?
Yeah, right.
You know,
Yeah.
you're accustomed to the blues, how are we doing burgundy? You're accustomed to the blues, let's do gray. You know, and it's interesting because you run across so many different people every single day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like every day is an adventure, really, man.
Right.
You never know who's gonna come through the door, what they're gonna want, and what you can provide. And to be honest, people that sit across from you spark a different level of creativity.
Yeah.
That's why it's so cool, because though I'm sitting down with them, I get to unveil those different layers about me.
Yeah.
And as a creative, you know. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, you do it good. I mean, I do have this question though. What's your favorite knot when you top?
Man, a Windsor is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Double Windsor.
Right.
And I love a dimple.
Yeah.
Love a dimple. Love a dimple. When I wear a tie.
Yeah.
You know. But that works for me. And honestly, when it comes to favorites and colors and things of that nature, it changes for me. Maybe over the course of several months. I may go 6 months at a time while I'm not wearing a tie.
Really?
It's just how I'm feeling. Yeah. So fashion is freedom. Fashion is freedom.
Yeah.
And that's what I challenge everybody to do, is be free in fashion, bro. You know, right now I'm on a tie kick. Every day I'm in a tie. That's just the kick that I'm on.
Right.
But that's
Yeah. I do have. I'm gonna switch gears on you right
Go for it. Yeah.
Do you eat Oreo cookies?
Most certainly. Yeah, man.
What kind of Oreo cookies you eat? Because there's thin, there's regular,
Come on.
there's double stuff, and there's mega.
I eat them all, but my favorite are the thin ones.
Come on,
the mint
man.
icing, man. Come on, that's your deal?
No, man. It's either double stuff or mega stuff, man.
But hold on,
I had to see if you could be trusted, man.
Time out. The double stuff is good. It's just a little bit much for me at times, but I'll tell you what I will do. And also the regular vanilla ones.
Yeah, all right, I can dig it.
So what I'll do is I'll make a little pancake batter.
Hold on,
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
I make a little pancake batter. And I learned this from one of my very dear friends, his daughter, my homeboy Pete. You remember Pete?
Yeah.
Shout out my boy Junior. Shout out my homie. I was over at his house one day and his daughters were making fried Oreos, bro. I said, there's no way y'all can fry Oreo and it's gonna be good. So listen, they had pancake mix and they dip the Oreo in there and they fry it until the pancake was cooked.
Yeah.
And they put a little powdered sugar on top. I said, well, I gotta taste test this.
Right.
Try it. Boom. I'm like, it's over. That's the snack.
That's
I'm
the
making
one.
at the crib. Yeah. And every now and then when I have the time and I want to take my time, because I'm an organized person, I gotta have all stuff. Boom, boom, boom. If I don't have time to organize, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But I started doing that. It's my favorite way to have an Oreo.
Come on.
And I love mint. Love mint. You don't like mint?
I like mint gum. I like mint mouthwash. And that's it.
Oh, you like it.
That's
you
it.
tried it?
No.
You gotta try it, man.
But look,
I'm gonna make some for you.
So when y'all come over here and speak to Harold, when y'all go ahead and get him together, y'all ask him before y'all come to have some fried Oreo cookies here for y'all.
We're not gonna get much work done.
Y'all may not. And y'all probably gonna have to change the measurements because some weight will be gained.
It's good stuff, bro. It's really
I'm gonna have
the
to
kids
try.
enjoy it too, but it's a little messy. So, and the lifestyle, we get pretty busy, so I don't have a lot of time to do it. Well, let's just say, I don't make the time.
Okay.
Guilty.
I mean, you busy
You know,
right
we all
now.
guilty.
You
You
busy
know what
right
I'm
now.
saying?
You busy. And I did have this other one. And this one's kind of depends.
Go for it.
I know personally that you are a Mason.
Yeah, I try.
Is that, you know, so is that something that you can talk about as far as, you know, just you know?
Man, I'll put it to you like this, bro. Being a Mason don't make me the man that I am, but the man that I am makes me a Mason. Quite often, and look, I don't knock anybody, man. Everybody has their own purpose. This is the doctrine I live by.
Right.
This is a personal philosophy that I've always adopted in life. Nothing is going to make me, I'm going to make it. Not in an arrogant, cocky sort of manner. But a lot of people do things just to put a letter on. I'm just not that guy, and the fact that, you know, people let stuff define them, and that's just not something I do. Masonry has been great to me.
Yeah.
Over the course of my life. Talking in the depths of it, no, I don't. But it's one of those things, man. I could say that has taught me a lot on my journey in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Met some great people.
I feel like that's something that people wouldn't have known about you. You know, I know that about you. So I just was wondering if that was something that you might want.
Yeah, you generally won't find me with a shirt. Obviously, I wear emblems on my vehicle. I wear an emblem on my chain every now and then. I don't wear a ring. It's just one of those.
Yeah, I know it's always these simple hints.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's I know that about you. So, and I feel like you do that with your work as well. These simple hints of these colors.
Sure.
You know, this fabric, things like that. So I kind of feel like it's one and the same.
Details are a big deal for me, man. And not necessarily all the time the flashy ones. It's the subtle things that make things unique.
Right.
You know, when you're looking at a car or a truck, you know, if you can look at a Ford F-250 that you start driving, for the most part they all look the same. But once you start to examining the little tidbits that make them unique to what you want, that's what makes your decision in purchasing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's the same with clothing, man. A double-breasted wide peak lapel jacket is a general jacket.
Yeah.
But we take little things and we make subtle adjustments to them that make them unique to the individual.
Man, you doing it.
Because it's cool that I think people embrace individuality.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless which way society is going.
Yeah. Who cares what people think about you? Because I always say that people, if you're not paying my bills, I don't really care what you think about.
No, I can't.
You know?
I can't. I mean, life is too precious for such a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Life is way too precious for such a thing. And obviously, I teach my son that when he grows up and gets himself into a professional environment, to be sure that he impresses upon people with how he presents himself, but not to be anyone else.
Right.
If that makes sense. Because obviously, if you're going into a business meeting, you should be appropriate.
Yes.
And putting a suit on. If you're sitting down for an interview in a professional environment, you should present yourself as such. Not necessarily for people, but for you.
Yes.
And that's part of who my son is. I don't have to tell him. We went to a speaking engagement in Lake Charles on last Sunday, and so that kind of comments is sure. He said, "Okay, well, how am I dressing? What am I putting on?" He knew how he was going to dress, but he wanted to know what the composition was going to be. He knew he had to put on a jacket and a button-down shirt, and a nice pair of denims or slacks. He knew he had to be dressed for the occasion.
Right.
That's not nothing I forced upon him, but he understands, and so he'll grow up knowing and understanding. When he goes out, he got step correct.
Yeah.
And again, not for people, because he makes a conscious decision to do so.
Yeah.
He knows that's the standard that he holds himself to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's learned, from some great men before him, just like you have.
Surely.
So I know he's going in the right direction, and so is your wife and your daughter as well, man. And y'all going to the stars right now, man. So let people know how they can contact you, man. Like, how can they reach you? How can they find you? All that good stuff. Sure.
So easiest way is probably to give me a call. My contact is 337-278-2602. But most people want to go and view some of my work.
Yeah.
And so Instagram at Bespoke Batiste Collection, Facebook, same. You can go and find me there. My personal page, obviously, you can go there and see some stuff. And even on my social media platforms, there are links to my website, as well as my contact information. All the information is there. There's a link you click on, gives you every single platform.
Right.
So also my email is on there. And again, send me an email. We're pretty good at checking them. Every now and then they kind of go to junk mail, and we may miss a few, but the easiest thing is to just give me a call, shoot me a text.
Right.
Chances are, if I don't answer, I'm in a meeting, but I'll definitely get back. Feel free to leave me a message, and even a brief description of what you want to get done, and we can make it happen. I'm kind of old school, bro.
Yeah.
Texting is cool. Probably not my strong suit. Give me a call, let's chat it up. And we can make something happen. Now, I will say this, man. Everything we do is 100% custom.
Yes.
So it takes about 6 to 8 weeks currently,
Okay.
because we have so many
Glad you said
projects
that.
on
Right.
the fire.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, have we gotten some stuff done quicker than that? Absolutely. You know, we can. But it's a whole lot safer play to come in way ahead of time than like last minute. And I'm not saying if you come in last minute not to call me, please do by all means.
Right.
Because there are times where we can move some things around and get you knocked out and get you out the door and get you to something that you love. So don't hesitate to call me, even if you feel like it's too late.
Yeah.
Still give me a call. I'll do my best, and if I can't help you, man, I'll do my best to get you where you need to be in the time that you have.
Man, that's
And even if it's like, yo, I know I don't have time to have you make something, but can you help me with composition? I'll say, hey, listen, you go out shopping, you have my number, take some pictures of some things that you see, and I'll help you put the stuff together.
That's awesome.
And currently, I don't charge
for
that.
Man. I might have to think
but it
twice
gets to a
about
point to where, you know, we do that, and that comes from, honestly, bro, if I could do my job for free, I probably would, but I got a family to feed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and my services do hold value. You
Absolutely.
know? But I love what I do that much.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Man, I can see it, man. You can do it. I want to thank you for giving us the time, man,
Sure.
to spotlight you here on the show, Louisiana On Fire. You know how to contact him. You see what kind of person he is, and you see the work that he's going to give you. So by all means, reach out to this man, and you won't be upset, except for the fact that he likes to eat those certain, cookies.
Oreos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now my kids eat
Thin mints.
the big ones. Yeah, my kids eat.
I mean, as they should. I mean, that's,
It's only right, huh?
yeah. I mean, you see what we dealing with, but at the end of the day, he's still a great guy.
I need to grow more, man. I ain't trying.
Yeah, you're going about life the wrong way right now. Everything else about you is amazing, except for
That one thing we gotta make some change.
But I ain't gonna hold that against you because you've always
good.
been like family to me, man. So
Indeed,
I appreciate
man.
it, and I want to thank you for this time.
Oh man, absolute pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Hope that everybody that's looking at us inspired in some way, shape, or form. Man.
I think you did, man.
Feel compelled to support me, man.
I think they will
so
be.
much.
I think they will be.
Yes, indeed.
This is another episode of Louisiana On Fire. I'm Tim Davis, and this is Harold Batiste. We appreciate you guys.
Peace.
Yeah, man. That was good,
That was
bro.
good, man. I enjoyed that so
Yeah.
much, man. I
Yeah.
could probably...
What's up, Louisiana? Thanks for watching another episode of Louisiana On Fire. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Oh, and don't forget to hit that bell so you can be notified for the next episode.